What is a scam that's become so normalized that we just kind of accept that it is what it is? I'll go first. Health insurance.
Adulting is an actual scam, and the people who are in charge of home insurance, you're the biggest scammers.
Every time I tell somebody that I don't have health insurance, I get this reaction. What do you do? What are you going to do? I go to the doctor if I need to, and I pay out of pocket.
I will never understand having insurance anymore, and this is coming from someone who works in the medical field. Insurance is a scam.
I have a bill right here for an orthopedic doctor that I saw earlier this year. And before I went, I called my insurance company and I said, hey, this is what's going on. I'd like to see an orthopedic doctor for my knee, my elbow, and my shoulder. I need some x-rays. I'll probably need some physical therapy as well because I got pretty banged up. And they said, no worries.
We need to talk about insurance because I think something strange is going on. Tell me why we're paying hundreds, sometimes thousands, every month for health insurance, car insurance, house insurance, and then still paying thousands when it's time for the insurance company to take full responsibility.
This is covered. And I said, what about this place? This place I want to go to. Is this covered? Is this in network and is it covered? And they said, yes, and yes, you're good to go. Here is the bill. $228, $186, $202, $165, $146, $248, and $300. That's the total amount. I'll do the math later. That's how much the whole entire bill was. Insurance paid $81.40, $61.69, and $40 total. That's how much it cost. That's what insurance paid for. So I got this bill and I was like, the remainder of this is insane. I've already paid $150 for all this stuff up front when I first went. I'm not going to pay all that. What's going on? So I went back to this company and I said, hey, can we work something out? So they made a bunch of adjustments and now I only owe $346 on top of the $150 that I already paid. So insurance covered $181 and I'm going to be out of pocket almost $400. I pay $1,000 a month for insurance. It would have been cheaper if I just didn't have health insurance. I went here, pay it out of pocket, and asked them to adjust it to be lower because I didn't have health insurance. Than if I paid $1,000 a month for insurance and then still had to pay $500, $600 for all of this stuff to get done. That's such a good system. I love it. It's great. It's awesome.
Car insurance is the biggest scam on this planet. Like, I'm really trying to understand, like, I need the insurance to cover my car in case I get into an accident. But if I get into an accident, then I'm penalized for getting into an accident because I'm really not supposed to get into an accident, even if I have car insurance. And then if I do use my car insurance because I got into an accident, they're going to raise my monthly premium. And then it's up to their discretion whether they cover me or not. But it's not up to my discretion whether I pay them or not. Because in order for me to register my car in my state, I have to have car insurance.
People are tired. The system is broken. The idea of health insurance sounds good. You pay every month, and when you need care, you're covered. But in reality, you're paying premiums, deductibles, co-pays, co-insurance, and still drowning in bills. I personally feel like health insurance is the biggest scam of our lifetime.
So me being me, I'm thinking like, okay, so if I'm paying you $300 a month, if anything happens to my car, I shouldn't hear no tongue, no mouth. They have tongue and mouth every time you something happens to your car. It is not making sense to me. Like, that's not adding up. The fact that car insurance is so expensive anyways. Like, what do you mean you're charging me $400 a month for a what if? For a hypothetical. You must be out your goddamn... I don't get it. Health insurance is a whole nother thing, but the car insurance shit I don't get.
Adulting is an actual scam, and the people who are in charge of home insurance, you're the biggest scammers. So we pay for a policy. We then have like a big leak. All our electrics in our house are not working. So you can kind of see one of them is like there. Anyway, we have no lights downstairs. We call the insurance company and go through all of it because, you know, I've been paying you money. I think our insurance is about $900 a year for our house. So I've paid you my money. I call and I'm like, hey, I've been paying you money. So today's the day that I'm going to cash in on my money. For them to come and send somebody for like just the investigative work, they say that there's an excess of £500. So why did I pay you £900? And that doesn't guarantee that they're going to fix the issue that needs to be fixed. And then he goes on to say about how when we claim, it's going to affect our insurance policy next year. So when we try and, renew, it's going to affect us. So basically, my man was trying to deter us from claiming the money on the insurance that we've been paying. So then I come to think, it happens with car insurance, happens with home insurance. Health insurance, they do their own madness as well, but they're not as bad. But either way, so we get insurance for you not to use the insurance, and then next year we have to renew and get the insurance again, but we can never use it. Somebody please help.
In 2025, the average health insurance premium for a family is more than some people's rent. Even with good insurance, deductibles are sky high, meaning you have to spend thousands out of pocket before coverage even kicks in. Then you've got co-pays. You can't even get a checkup without swiping your card.
What is a scam that's become so normalized that we just kind of accept that it is what it is? I'll go first. Health insurance. Can somebody please explain to me how much it costs to go to the doctor? How much does a bag of IV fluid cost? How much does a bandage cost? If I have to stay overnight, how much is that stay gonna cost me? Story time. So I recently had to go to the doctor, and I went to the doctor, did my thing, got my bill through my health insurance, and it was astronomical. They didn't cover much of anything. In fact, we have a high deductible plan. So not only am I paying my health insurance premiums every paycheck, but I have to hit a certain level of deductible, which for ours is like $8,000, for us to have any sort of coverage. Fast forward a couple months, and I had to go to the doctor again. But because I was so fed up with the other situation, I decided that I didn't want insurance through my company anymore. I would just buy my own insurance. I went to the doctor for roughly the same thing. Same doctor, same everything, different health insurance. But I didn't have my card, and I couldn't get everything that I needed. I said, just bill it to me. What's the cash pay price? Because I was willing to pay it that day, I walked out there paying less than $500 for something that they charged me almost $4,000 for last time. Just to recap, if you work for a large company that offers you health insurance, you're paying premiums just to be able to pay a deductible just to have it not cover anything in the first place. But if I took the money that I was paying towards the health insurance that didn't cover anything, then I could just use that money and pay up front and then not have any health insurance bills. Seems to me like there's no clear understanding of it. There's no clear paperwork behind it. You don't really know what they're going to cover, so they're just going to charge you whatever they feel like you're going to pay.
Insurance is supposed to give peace of mind, but for a lot of us, it's just another monthly bill draining our bank accounts. So yeah, people are calling it a scam. And until the system changes, I can't say they're wrong. People skipping doctor visits because they can't afford the bills. Families choosing between groceries and medication. People are dying from treatable conditions because they couldn't pay for care. It's not just numbers, it's lives.
Every time I tell somebody that I don't have health insurance, I get this reaction. What do you do? What are you going to do? I go to the doctor if I need to, and I pay out of pocket. It would cost me $1,200 a month out of my paycheck to put my family of 5 on a health insurance plan through my job. And as somebody who's not very sickly and doesn't have a very sickly family, I really just can't imagine giving $1,200 a month to an insurance company who's going to turn around and tell me what they are and are not going to pay for, and then they're still going to make me pay a copay when I go to the doctor's office. And by the way, the copays that y'all pay is pretty much what I pay cash out of pocket when I go. So I have this grand idea that if we all did not sign up for insurance and instead take that money that you would spend to your insurance company every month and put it into a savings account that is strictly just for your medical things, then you get to decide what you pay for medically, and you don't have somebody else telling you who has your money that you paid saying, oh, we're not going to pay for that. We don't think it's necessary. I know that may not be ideal for everybody and everybody's situation, and there are situations where insurance is a good thing and it really does help, especially state-funded insurances for people that are in, tragic situations or need like a lot of long-term care, or families with special needs, children, and I get that. So I know it's not for everybody, but also everybody doesn't necessarily need insurance. In my opinion, I'm fine. And if something bad happens and I get into a car wreck, they're not going to take me up in there and be like, well, I see you got 2 broken legs and you're bleeding from your right lung, but we got to send this one home because she don't have health insurance. Guess what? They're still going to treat me. And then I'm just going to pay, the minimum monthly payment on my bill if I need to do that until I get it paid off, or, maybe I'll save up what I would pay to my insurance company and I'll pay it towards that hospital bill.
This is something we all need to talk about. We don't talk about this enough, y'all. People paying $600 a month for insurance, then still paying $3,000 when they need surgery. How does that make sense?
I will never understand having insurance anymore, and this is coming from someone who works in the medical field. Insurance is a scam. I have insurance through my job. Specifically, we're talking dental insurance this time. If you know, most dental insurances cover, 2 cleanings a year, once every 6 months. So I call an office. I say, do you take my insurance? Give them my insurance information. And they're like, oh, yeah. Do you have a PPO plan or this plan? Whatever. We figured out I had a PPO plan. Yep, sounds good. Schedule my appointment for 9:20 this morning. So I get there and they're like, okay, so your dental, your insurance plan, it's either they're going to pay us or you have to pay out of pocket and then they'll pay you back. I've never heard of an insurance company doing this with cleanings ever. Okay, so I'm like, whatever, fine. I'm going to call them and figure out why. So they're like, this dentist is out of network. I'm like, hey, cool, because I called them. I called them prior to see if they were in my network. Maybe they just wanted the business. I don't really know. Anywho, comes to find out I have to pay for the cleaning up front. But the insurance company's like, so yeah, you have to pay for the cleaning up front, but we don't know how much we're going to reimburse you. And I'm like, what do you mean you don't know how much you're going to reimburse me? They're like, well, let's see, you'll pay for it out of pocket and then we'll give you a dollar amount and then you'll have to pay for the difference. I'm like, okay, cool. Well, what the fuck is the point of dental insurance? And of course, they're like, we want payment up front. You want to know how much they want to charge me for just a cleaning and checkup? $447 motherfucking dollars. I laughed. I was like, I'm not paying you $447 to maybe be reimbursed by my insurance company. It costs $447 for you to check my mouth, clean my teeth, make sure everything's good. People can't afford that. I can't afford that. I pay monthly for dental insurance and you're telling me pay $447 out of pocket every 6 months and maybe we'll reimburse you.
If you've ever been hit with a surprise bill, let's talk in the comments because this is something we all need to talk about. We don't talk about this enough, y'all.